Welcome back, all of my low carb friends, and for those of you who are new here and seeing me for the first time, welcome. You know, I have really been enjoying this coconut flour craze I've been on. I showed you guys how to make quick and easy coconut flour cookies. I showed you how to make easy coconut flour biscuits. I gave you a quick little informational video on the basics of baking with coconut flour. And today I am going to teach you how to make keto English muffins using coconut flour. Now these are so easy from start to finish. From the time you begin making them to the time they're ready to eat takes only about 30 minutes. They contain no yeast, which means you do not have to wait around for them to rise, which makes them all the more easier, and they are still light and fluffy and delicious. Also, make sure you stick around to the end of the video, and I'm going to show you how to make a quick recipe that goes great with these English muffins. So if you want printable versions of these, you can check out my website at janetsdeliciouslowcarbkitchen.com. You can find printable versions of these and other goodies there for you. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Also, right next to the subscribe button, there's a little notification bell. Make sure you click that notification bell so you can be notified every time I put out a new video. And while you do that, let's get cooking. In a medium mixer bowl, combine 1/4 cup of coconut flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Whisk these all together until there are no lumps in the flour. Make sure you get out all of the lumps. Add 4 large room temperature eggs. Make sure they are room temperature, that way your batter is nice and smooth. Use a whisk and whisk these all together until they are fully combined and the batter is completely smooth. Make sure that you get all the lumps of the coconut flour out. When coconut flour gets wet, it sticks together, so really make sure you get every single lump out. You want this to be a nice, smooth batter so you can have fluffy English muffins. Once the batter's all whisked together, scrape down the sides of the bowl and push the batter all to the center of the bowl. Then let the batter sit for about 10 minutes so the coconut flour can absorb some of the moisture and begin to expand so you can have a slightly thick batter. While the batter is resting, in a large skillet, place 6 tablespoons of room temperature butter. Turn the heat onto medium and allow the butter to melt completely. You don't have to stir it or anything, just put the butter in and let it melt over that medium heat. Make sure the butter is fully melted. While you're waiting for the butter to melt, lightly grease 3 wide-mouth mason jar lids. If you don't have wide-mouth mason jar lids, then find something that is heat safe and that is about 3 inches in diameter. Once the butter has completely melted, and your batter has set for at least 10 minutes, give the batter a little bit of a stir just to make sure that it has thickened up a little bit. Then place the prepared mason jar lids upside down into the skillet with the melted butter. Scoop the batter out a little over 1/4 cup at a time and pour it into the prepared mason jar lids that are in the butter. Now you don't want to overflow these rings. The batter, once it starts cooking, it will expand, so you want to leave some room inside the mason jar lid. But for the most part, you're going to fill the mason jar lid most of the way up. Once you've filled the mason jar lids, then cook over medium heat for 4 to 5 minutes, or until the underside is lightly golden. Once the underside is golden, use a spatula and turn each muffin over onto the other side and cook it again for another 4 to 5 minutes or until both sides are golden. Once they're golden on both sides, keep the muffins inside the lid And use a spatula and carefully remove the muffins from the skillet and place on a paper towel lined plate so any extra butter can be absorbed. Allow the muffins to cool in the lid for about 15 minutes so that all the ingredients can set nicely into place. If you have filled the lids right, then there should be no excess overflow on the outside of the lid. But as you can see, a couple of these I filled a little too much, and so I had some overflow. It's okay, it's not a big deal, because once it cools we can just remove the overflow and it'll still be fine. But this is what happens when you fill your lids with too much batter. You get an excess overflow. And it ends up looking like this when it comes out of the skillet. Once they've cooled for 15 minutes, then gently remove the muffins from the lids. If you've overflown the lid like I have on these two, then all you need to do is gently pull apart the extra batter that's spilled out. It's no big deal. You can either discard the extra batter, or if you really want to save it, you can always dry it out and make breadcrumbs out of it. So it's not a crisis if you've overflown it. You haven't ruined them. Just remove the excess, gently press them out of the lids. Then you can either serve them immediately, slice them open and put whatever toppings you want on them, or you can allow them to cool completely and store them in an airtight container at room temperature until you're ready to use them. Eat and enjoy. In a medium mixer bowl, combine 1 cup of tomato sauce, a 6-ounce can of tomato paste, 1 teaspoon garlic powder, 1 teaspoon dried oregano, a 1/2 teaspoon dried basil, a 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder, seasoned salt and seasoned pepper to your desired taste. Whisk these all together until they're fully combined and the sauce is smooth. To assemble the mini pizzas, slice the English muffin in half. Spread the desired amount of the pizza sauce over each half. Top the sauce with the desired amount of cheese. I'm using shredded mozzarella here. You can use any cheese you want. Sprinkle your desired amount of toppings over the cheese. Then you can either put these in the oven for about 5 to 7 minutes on 350, or just until the cheese is melted and the muffin is heated through. Or you can put them on a plate, pop them in the microwave for about 15 to 20 seconds, or until the cheese is melted and the muffin is heated through. And that's our recipe of the day. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you want to see more videos like this, then make sure you click that thumbs up like button, click that subscribe button, leave me a comment if you want to. Let me know if there's any recipes that you'd like to learn how to make, and I'll do what I can to get those out there for you. And as always, keep cooking.